Alright, so today's video is on, once again, the Burgess, and I was on a video for one of these guns, and somebody asked a question about whether or not this gun has a disconnector on it. So, because the actual trigger does go away from the sear, I don't know if disconnector is technically the term for it. So I'm assuming they mean, can the gun slam fire? And the answer to that, as you'll see right here, pull it back. Alright, I'm not pulling it right back because you don't have to. But hold the trigger here. As you see, it's at its maximum return. And as you saw, the thing fired. So yes, it's able to slam fire. Now, is it something I do all the time with this gun? I don't think so. Probably not going to do it more than just that time there. Especially on an empty, well, lack of chamber, I guess. So now that we have shown that it does slam fire, I'll take it apart and show you exactly how that works. Since, unfortunately, in my last video, I don't think I explained too much on the trigger part of it. So, I'll get this disassembled and we'll go from there. Alright, so now we have the two important pieces. So we'll start with the actual trigger on here. As you see, you got the trigger here, which you see moving that little cam, I guess you would call it. And then you got the front end here, which is, when you push it, you see it dropping that. Well, that allows you to pull it back without firing the gun. So now that you've seen that, we'll go to the bottom here. Let's try to get it to focus without. Alright. If you put it at this point here, it's now ready to fire, right? Which means that this here stays in completely. As you see, it doesn't protrude at all. And this sear is holding back the hammer in its full cock position. Next to it here, the broken line that you see, is the half cock on this gun. As you see, it has been half broken. Somebody was probably not careful with it and tried to force it to fire in half cock and broke it that way. But anyways, the sear works pretty easily. You take any object and you push here. If I can get it to focus. When you push here, you see the sear lifting. And this allows you to. So that's a sear. And on the sear, you see a slanted path. Well, that right there Once again, we'll try to get this focused. Piece of crap. Anyways, so that right there is where the trigger hits, around that spot there. And the groove that's in here is where the actual trigger rides along. So if you have your finger pushed on the trigger, it won't really touch any of the metal along here, as there's a groove for it. So the little cam that you saw before, this one right here, this cam right here will stick out, but it won't really touch anything until it reaches that ramp, which then hits the sear and disengages it or releases a hammer. And that's how that fires. So basically, you don't have a disconnector per se, but the fact that you're actually pumping the gun means that the trigger's away from the sear. So it can't fire without it being in its locked battery, or being in a locked battery form. Now we're talking about that. As you saw the last time, I think in the video, I showed that this here is an inertial unlocker. So when the gun kicks after it's fired, this pops forward. What that does is you see that it protruded now. So it actually sticks out. That pushes down on here and allows it to go past this spot right here that you see. If I could get it to focus again. Alright. The ridge that's there is a ridge that usually locks onto. But when the inertial unlocker goes, it pushes down on this, so it allows you to pump it. And that's basically how simple this thing is. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, feel free to leave it in a comment below. If you enjoy my videos, I do put out videos not on a constant basis, but I do end up putting 2 or 3 up around the same time, usually, when I get around to filming something. So subscribing is the best way to know that I'm actually that I have actually put up another video. Once again, thank you for watching, and I hope this explained how the Burgess Slamfires.